What you survived wasn't meant to be survived. The probability of you making it through intact was essentially zero. But you did it anyway, not because you're special, not because you're chosen, but because something inside you refused to give them the satisfaction. Something inside you looked at the abyss and said, "Not today." Something inside you decided that if you were going to go through this nightmare, you were going to come out the other side as something they couldn't define. Let's talk about what they expected to happen. They expected you to crumble. They expected public breakdowns. They expected social media meltdowns. They expected you to beg for help, to cry for mercy, to show them that you were just as fragile as everyone else. They wanted to see you broken because it would validate their own weakness. They wanted to watch you fail because it would justify their own limitations. They were waiting for the moment you'd crack, the moment you'd prove that no one can really survive that level of pain. But that moment never came. They burned, they burned, they burned, and they burned, and they burned. You just kept walking, you just kept processing, you just kept transmuting poison into whatever the hell you needed to keep existing. And every day you didn't break was another day they had to face the uncomfortable truth that some people are just built different. Some people metabolize darkness like it's oxygen. Some people turn devastation into fuel, and you're one of them. Now we need to address what's really going on. You're not healing. Let's be clear about that. You didn't heal. Healing is what happens when you recover and go back to who you were before. You didn't do that. You can't do that. Because who you were before doesn't exist anymore. That version of you died multiple times. You buried them. You mourned them. You said goodbye. What you did was something else entirely. You evolved under pressure that should have killed you. You adapted to conditions that weren't compatible with human consciousness. You became something new, not better, not worse, just different. Fundamentally, irreversibly different. You're operating with a nervous system that's been through extinction-level events and came out functional. You're walking around with emotional architecture that was rebuilt in the dark with no instructions. You're existing with a psychological framework that was forged in temperatures that melt normal people. And somehow, you're stable. Not perfect, not undamaged, but stable in a way that shouldn't be possible. Here's what makes you dangerous now. You don't react anymore. That's the part that unnerves people. They throw their usual manipulation tactics and you just look at them. They try their guilt trips and you don't flinch. They attempt their emotional blackmail and you remain unmoved because you've been to places they'll never see. You've survived conversations with your own darkness that would shatter their entire worldview. You've sat in silence so heavy it had gravity and you came out of it coherent. So when they try their little games, their petty dramas, their manufactured crises,